guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Savannah Smiles, and let's flip that back. So as you know, it is the most wonderful time of the year. So that means that Graham and I are getting a lot of questions about how we're spending the holidays and just other holiday related questions. So per the usual, I put up submissions on Instagram, and then I put one over on my YouTube channel for my channel members who get 2 possibilities for Q&A submissions. It definitely is easier to find my question submissions for my members since I only have 6 members on YouTube, but I have 13,000 on Instagram. So if you want a better chance of getting your question answered in the future, click the join button down below, and I put up one of these question submissions every time before I do a Q&A. You'll be sorry if you don't. You could make it rain in my bank account. You know the drill. Treat your elf. Yes, I found all these online, and yes, I only set up the intro to do that. If you have to stop watching the video at this point, I completely understand. Anyways, let's start off with my members' questions. So I have that first one pulled up here, and this first one is from, oh, look at that. Meet Kevin. So first, I'm just gonna explain this before we get into it because it's really funny. Graham, Kevin, and I are all members on each other's channels, so it's kind of a wash for us in terms of that, except for YouTube takes a cut of your channel memberships, so really YouTube's the only one winning from that. Anyways, let's get into his question, because the more I'm saying this out loud, the stupider it sounds. So he wrote, favorite cookie, like Oreos or Mrs. Fields? So anyways, since cookies are a must during this Christmas season, I'm going to be answering this question. I think either Kevin or Lauren worked at Mrs. Fields. I can't remember which one, so I'm probably gonna upset them here, but my answer is actually Oreos. It's not that Mrs. Fields cookies aren't good, it's just that with Oreos, once I have a package, I pretty much won't stop eating them until the whole thing's empty. So this next question is from Vegas Brent, who wrote, sort of Christmas related, giving the planning, what's the biggest thing you're excited about or looking forward to with the upcoming move? So I'm gonna keep this really Christmas related, but we're really excited to spend New Year's up there, and we're really excited to decorate for Christmas next year. As Graham's mom would say, this new house is a perfect Christmas tree house, as in there's so many spots to display a Christmas tree nicely. I think actually next year we'll probably end up getting a whole bunch of mini Christmas trees, as well as maybe a few real ones, or like a real one and a few fake ones, because the house has so many spots for it. So we're very excited about that. Okay, so we have this next one from YeetLord876, who wrote, are you going to be having Christmas in LA or Vegas? So for Christmas, we're actually going to be in Los Angeles, but for New Year's, as previously mentioned, we will be in Vegas. But this New Year's trip isn't going to be the official move-in date. We want to get the house a tad more settled before the official move. Since Graham is keeping the LA house empty for when we come back to visit, there will be some necessities we'll need to buy to stay up at the new primary residence in Vegas, and some that'll stay here, as well as we have a few carloads of items that need to go up to Las Vegas. Anyways, to answer the actual question, yes, we will be staying in LA for Christmas. Alright, so this next one is from Hobo Jaden, who wrote, will you and Graham be celebrating with your parents this holiday season? So actually, yes. So what we did last year, and I think we're doing again this year, is that we stayed up with my parents for Christmas Eve dinner, and then left early to mid Christmas morning, saw his mom for brunch, and then we saw his dad for Christmas dinner. It sounds a little bit funky, but my family has certain Christmas Eve and Christmas morning traditions, and his mom really likes to see him on Christmas mornings, so that's kind of why we schedule it out the way we do. By the way, I have Bailey in my lap right now, and she's a teething toy, so you might hear some extra rustling around. Oh my goodness, you just did a handstand. Bailey. Anyways, okay, reading off this next one we have from Patrick Pack, who wrote, what presents do you even get for someone as frugal as Graham? So this one actually took me a while to figure out, but the best presents you can get for a frugal person is something that they were already about to buy themselves. If you know that there's something that they already need to buy and they've specifically mentioned to you, oh, I need to get this in the future, that's the perfect gift to get them. So for example, with Graham, he's been saying he needs more memory cards and he's gonna have to buy them at some point, so I know that makes the perfect stocking stuffer for him. Last Christmas, I got Graham a pair of new nail clippers and put them in his stocking. He hadn't mentioned that he needed them, however, his old ones would barely close properly, and when they finally did cut your toenail, it would leave them so sharp that they would cut you. I had been cut by his toenails one too many times and figured it would be perfect. He still has not touched them because he says he doesn't need them and just now wears socks to bed. Also, pretty much anything that's designer you can forget it about because they really don't care about stuff like that. Alright, so we have this next one from Miss Taylor Marie, who wrote, how much is reasonable to spend on a partner for Christmas? So speaking from experience, and I think most everyone would agree with me when I say this, is before Christmas, talk with your partner and kind of set a price limit, but always talk to your partner. I think no matter your situation, that's always something you should be doing. Now, speaking from my own experience, when you're making minimum wage, $50 for a gift is a perfect price to be spending on your partner because you can get them something nice, but you're not going to break the bank with that. Now, speaking, if you were to be making the average US income, which I believe is somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000, go up to like $200-300. I think that's completely reasonable. You're not going to be breaking the bank, and you're not going to be spending over 10% of what you make in a month on a gift, which I think is completely reasonable. Right now, since I'm unemployed, and for anyone else in my shoes, I would say probably about $100 if you have savings and you know that you'll have a job pretty soon here. If you don't, then obviously change that to your situation. But for me, since I know that at some point I'll get my job back and I also still have a little bit of income from YouTube, $100 is totally reasonable. Honestly though, I would say with Christmas gifts, it's less about the price and more about the thoughtfulness. If you get them something that really shows them you cared or you were listening, that's gonna mean way more than, oh hi, I got you this designer bag, if that makes sense. Alright, so this next one is from Kobe Friedman, who wrote, what did you get Graham? So I actually can talk about this because, as I mentioned 2 questions ago, the best gifts to get someone like Graham is something that they were already going to get. Unfortunately for me, I had to give him these early because he was going to buy them before Christmas. So if you watched my last vlog of A Day in the Life with Bailey, you'll see that I got him a pair of Studio 3 Beats by Dre headphones in matte black. I also got them before my job furloughed me, so with the furlough in mind, it wasn't the smartest gift, but to be honest, I tend to overspend on gifts for Christmas anyways, so I probably would have bought them at the same price I did anyways. I have a really hard time not splurging when it comes to them. I get so much more joy out of giving nice gifts to the people I love rather than spend that money on myself. That also goes for my family and close friends, by the way. Alright, so we have this next one from Salome Pereira, who wrote, also, what are you getting Ramsey and Bailey for Christmas? So I'm on a budget right now, but probably what Bailey and Ramsey will be getting is toys. Bailey has been loving Ramsey's little bird toys. They're kind of like this big and they make little whistling noises that like a bird would make. He had 2 and now she has one that's hers and she's been absolutely destroying it. What I'll probably do for Christmas for Ramsey is get him more of those bird toys since she has destroyed one of them, and then also get him some of those like pate fancy feast things that he likes as special treats. For Bailey, we've been really lazy and we haven't gotten a dog tag added to her collar. She's microchipped, so we know if she got out she'd be fine, but we need to get that dog tag added on there just in case, because I don't know if most people would even think to bring her to see if she's been microchipped if she got out. I'm always really careful. I put on the leash if we go for a walk inside the house, but still, we need to get that dog tag, so we'll probably do that for Christmas. I also will probably get her one of those plushy squeaker toys since my mom got one for when Bailey is up there with us visiting, and Bailey absolutely loves it. So that's probably something I'll get her as well. Alright, so our next one is from Emily EC05, who wrote, what is your favorite Christmas movie? P.S. Love you guys. First of all, thank you. And second of all, my favorite Christmas movie is actually A Christmas Story. I don't like rom-coms typically, and that already right there cuts out 85% of all Christmas movies. I love the classics like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the animated Grinch, but I have forgotten to watch those in previous years and I haven't been upset by this. They're really fun to watch and they're classics, but it's not the best one that I have to watch during Christmas season for me. Here's the thing with A Christmas Story. I've watched that movie for years and it was funny when I was 10 and it's hilarious now that I'm 22. From just the dad character in general to the overdramatic narrations, it just always has something in store for me. At times, this movie can be absolutely ridiculous, but that's kind of the point. So we have this section from Jongin Man Bram Official, who wrote, did you believe in Santa? Look, here's the deal. Santa brings us presents for free. He brings us things we want for free. In this household, we don't question anything for free. For real though, I did, and I actually have a funny story in regards to this. 4th grade, the day before winter break, when someone at my table told me that Santa was actually mom and dad, I was in complete denial and I told them that they did not know what they were talking about. I asked my mom about it nonstop in front of my sister until she finally got me alone that night and told me the truth. I was very upset and I ended up telling one of my friends, and then after that my mom stressed the importance of not spoiling it for other kids. I don't know if you can see where this is going, but it's just kind of cringy, but also kind of funny. So anyways, we got back from winter break and of course my table mates are like, you know, did your mom tell you, you know we're right, whatever. And me trying to be the good little Santa's helper and not spoil it for anybody else, I decided to adamantly deny everything. And the moment I was like, wow, I'm doing the right thing, but looking back, they were the ones who told me, so they obviously knew, so I didn't need to sit there and deny it in front of them, but yeah, it's whatever. It's really cringy.
Hey guys, so it's Macy in editing. I'm not really able to get up because the baby is sleeping on me, but we have this next question that I can see on my computer. It's Jennifer Nash wrote, what's your favorite holiday tradition? So probably my favorite holiday tradition is baking sugar cookies with my mom and my sister. My brother would usually jump in too. It was so much fun and we were really good at making the sugar cookies. We maybe weren't the best at frosting them, and definitely the ones that I frosted and still frost to this day look like a toddler did it, but it's about the taste that matters, right?
Okay, so we have this next one from Dara Fornosh, who wrote, what tradition would you like to do? So actually this year I wanted to start doing Christmas cards because I thought that they were so much fun and my mom used to do them when I was younger. I also thought it'd be super fun if I could find some way to send them to my members, but I would have had to prepare this out further ahead in time, and I obviously forgot to do that. All right, so we have this next one from Tori Stallings, who wrote, fun family traditions, green heart, red heart. Okay, so I chose this one. I know we just went over my favorite, but I have a whole bunch of family traditions that I thought would be fun to throw in here as well. This family tradition that we do, and it's called the pickle, and it comes from my paternal grandfather, who is actually a full-blooded German. So pretty much how this one goes is that either the parents or Santa will hide a pickle ornament somewhere on the tree. First thing you do when you make it downstairs in the morning is try to find this pickle ornament. It is actually rather difficult because it is green on a green tree. The first one to find this pickle ornament wins a special gift that is set aside specifically for the pickle winner. Another one that we have is that my mom always lets us open up a gift on Christmas Eve that she sets aside, and it's always pajamas. There's never been a year where it's not been pajamas. Another weird one is that we always have taquitos for dinner on Christmas Eve, and that we always have Ritz Cracker chicken on Christmas dinner. I don't know why or how this one started, but every single year for as long as I can remember. Okay, so we got this next one from JJ Nanton, who wrote artificial or live Christmas tree. I'm definitely a live Christmas tree type person. Graham and I actually this year, because we wanted 2 Christmas trees, got an artificial one for the dining room, and then we have a real one that will be going into the living room, which we're super excited about. So we have this next one from Matthew Vincent, who wrote, do you wrap the lights around the tree or up and down along the tree? So between the two, I definitely prefer around the tree because I think it looks better between the two. But if we have enough lights, I think what looks best is to actually do both. In my personal opinion, it looks best when you do that and kind of tuck the lights in, and then you end up with this big sparkly tree instead of something with a distinguishable pattern. So we have this next one from Military Industrial Museum, who wrote angel or star or bow on top of the Christmas tree. I love the look of a star on the top of the Christmas tree. However, I don't really mind the bow or the angel, but if I were to be sitting there and all 3 were to be on the shelf and all 3 for the same price, I would definitely grab the star. So we have this section from EE Sock, who wrote, when you were little, did you wait till the morning to open your presents or right at 12 a.m.? So when I was little, I couldn't even stay up to midnight on New Year's, so I was definitely not doing that for Christmas. But I was absolutely swell for my parents, and I would wake up before 6 a.m. wanting to open presents. It became a rule after that I had to wait till 6 a.m. to go wake them up. Okay, so we have this next one from It's Marty Yo, who wrote, what's your guys' favorite go-to holiday desserts? Probably my favorite go-to holiday dessert, I don't even know if this really counts, but I love frosted sugar cookies. They are the best. So we have this next one from Justin Mello, who wrote, favorite Christmas album of all time. Ooh, okay, we're going for a controversial opinion here. My favorite Christmas album is actually Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. I was a really big Justin Bieber fan when this first came out, but now it's just really nostalgic for me. I have so many memories of being really young, my mom driving my friends and I to the mall to go grab Christmas gifts, her playing it while we decorated the tree, her playing it while we made cookies, and stuff like that. I just associate so many happy times with that album. Is it the best Christmas album out there? Probably not. Is it my favorite still? Yes. So we have this next one from the Ernesto Vasquez, who wrote, would Graham rather get a gift or have you invest the money? Knowing Graham, he would probably rather I invest the money and spend a little bit less, but knowing me, I'm just gonna spoil him and spend that extra whatever on his gift. Okay, so we have this next one from Ash S. Johnson, who wrote, is Graham a Christmas Grinch or into it? So Graham is definitely into it. You would think with his frugal ways, he would be more of a Christmas Grinch, but he totally isn't at all. This year, neither of us have really been into it, but I just feel like with the state of how everything's been, it doesn't really feel like Christmas. We should be finishing all of our decor soon, so that should really help with it. Okay, so we have this next one from DC_draws01. What is the funniest memory you have of Ramsey you have from the holidays? So last year he would not stop jumping in the Christmas tree. It wasn't even always knocking off ornaments or climbing in the lower branches. It would be that we could not find Ramsey and then he would be in the middle of the tree knocking down ornaments and pulling the lights off. I hated it because he would knock pine needles everywhere around the tree, and then also because he was climbing in the tree, he would end up with pine needles on him and then sprint around the house when we attempt to catch him, leaving pine needles everywhere. It was such a mess to clean up. It's definitely funny now in retrospect, but at the time it was so frustrating. So this next one is from JPagan93, who wrote, are you a Grinch or a who? So previously when I used to work retail, I was a massive Grinch. And the more time that has passed since I worked Christmas season or worked retail in general, the more of a who I've been becoming. Hopefully in the next year or two, I will be a full who in Whoville singing Da Who Dore or whatever this song is. You get my point. Alright, so that was the video. Thank you for all of your question submissions. Don't forget to smash the YouTube algorithm for the like button. Also, I have a new upload schedule, so I will let you guys know of that. I'm going to be uploading every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, so that is 3 videos a week. Since now I am doing this full-time, I don't have a full-time job anymore, so we are doing this. Also, comment any Christmas Q&A questions that maybe I didn't get to or that I didn't see, and don't forget to use my referral links down in the description, and don't forget to end the video in the middle of the sentence. Oh yes, yes you baby. Oh, you got some stretching.